So you're thinking about moving to Washington, D.C., and you're probably wondering if D.C. has any family-friendly neighborhoods. Well, in this video, I'm going to be going over 5 different neighborhoods that just might fit that criteria, and we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn every single thing about living in Washington, D.C., you've come to the right place. So feel free to subscribe below. My name is Bashir and our team gets calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make a move to the D.C. metro area. So whether you're moving in 10 or 100 days, feel free to give us a call, text, or email, or even schedule a Zoom call. We'd love to meet you in person and make that move to our city as smooth as possible. So the first neighborhood we're going to be focusing on is Chevy Chase DC, because we do also have a Chevy Chase in Maryland, which is close by, but we're going to be focusing specifically on Chevy Chase DC. Now, Chevy Chase DC is located in the northwest quadrant of Washington, D.C. The zip code is 20015. Now, Chevy Chase it's one of those highly coveted neighborhoods in DC, right? I can remember between the years of 2021 and the early part of 2022, the housing market in Chevy Chase was out of control. I mean, literally, if you made an offer on a home in Chevy Chase for $80,000, $100,000 over the asking price, you were probably wasting your time, because I saw homes sell for as high as $150,000, $200,000. I even saw homes sell for $350,000 over asking price. And there's a reason for this. Chevy Chase has a lot of highly rated schools. They have a lot of spacious homes on spacious lots. They also have a lot of green spaces for the kids to play. So this is a very desirable neighborhood, and hence the competition to get into a neighborhood like this is going to be extreme. So while the neighborhood of Chevy Chase might be tucked away from a lot of the foot traffic and nightlife and amenities of DC, it's not too far from downtown. So you can get on Connecticut Avenue, which is the main avenue off Chevy Chase, and that takes you all the way downtown. So you're still close to a lot of amenities if you live in Chevy Chase. It's like only probably a 10-minute drive from downtown DC. So you're still in close proximity to everything. You're only 20 minutes away from the National Airport. So this isn't middle of nowhere suburbia. So like I said, Chevy Chase has a lot of highly rated schools. So let's talk about the schools for a second. Chevy Chase is home to Ben Merge Elementary School, Alice Deal Middle School, Jackson Reed High School, and also St. John's College High School, which is an independent private college prep school. Chevy Chase has no shortage of grocery options. You have a Safeway, Giant, and Yes Organic Food Market, all on Connecticut Avenue. For parks and outdoor recreation, it's in close proximity to Rock Creek Park, Fayette, and Livingston Park. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite, which is the cost of living in Chevy Chase, the real estate. The median home price in Chevy Chase is right around $1.4 million. And within the last calendar year, there were 131 home sales in Chevy Chase. The average days on market, which is how long a home sits on the market before it's sold, is around 7 days. So 7 days, that tells you everything you need to know. Very competitive real estate environment. So now, just because the average is $1.4 million doesn't mean that you can't get in Chevy Chase for a lower price. And it also doesn't mean that homes don't sell for above that median price range of $1.4 million. Within the last calendar year, the cheapest home in Chevy Chase was this home right here that sold for $855,000. And the most expensive home was this home over here that sold for just over $4.5 million. Let's talk about neighborhood number 2. Neighborhood number 2, and again, this is in no particular order. I'm just naming these 1 through 5. Neighborhood number 2 is Shepherd Park. Shepherd Park is also located in the northwest quadrant of DC, and the zip code is 20012. Now, I also believe Shepherd Park is one of the hottest neighborhoods in DC. I think Shepherd Park is one of those hidden gem neighborhoods. It just has this unique charm that sets it apart from other Washington, D.C. neighborhoods. It's not uncommon to see residents engaged in community events, local gatherings, and just different neighborhood initiatives that promote unity and connection. One unique feature about this neighborhood is just the blend of historic architecture in the homes and just the overall natural beauty. There's a lot of greenery in Shepherd Park. It's just an amazing sight to see. One last thing I would say about Shepherd Park is it's quite a diverse neighborhood. It also is the home and has been the home of a number of judges, professors, doctors, and also local reporters in the DC area. Some of the highly rated schools in Shepherd Park include San Miguel Middle School and Shepherd Elementary. And there's no shortage of parks and green spaces in Shepherd Park. You have Marvin Kaplan Park and Holly Street Northwest, and you also have close proximity to Rock Creek Park. Also, no shortage of grocery stores in the area. You have Whole Foods on 12th Street and a Safeway on Piney Branch Road Northwest. Let's talk about how much it costs to live in Shepherd Park. Let's talk about the real estate. The average home in Shepherd Park within the last year was right around $1.2 million. And there were only 27 sales of homes in Shepherd Park. And this is probably because this is one of those neighborhoods where when people move into, they usually don't tend to leave. And that just goes to show you the desirability of the neighborhood. So comparing this to Chevy Chase, which had 131 sales, this only had 27 sales. And this is not to say because Chevy Chase had more sales, it's less desirable than, Shepherd Park or any other neighborhood. It just depends on the number of things. How many homes are actually available in the neighborhood? Because some neighborhoods in DC, believe it or not, have more homes than the other. So 27 homes within the last calendar year, and the average days on market, which again is how long it takes for a home to sell when it hits the market, that number in Shepherd Park was 7 days. So just like Chevy Chase, it was 7 days on market. So very competitive real estate environment. So if you wanted to buy a home in this neighborhood, it's one of those neighborhoods where you have to act quick and swift so you don't get left out. The most expensive home to sell in Shepherd Park was this home right here at $685,000, which, as you can tell, was probably a fixer-upper. This home is probably worth somewhere around, I would guesstimate $1.5 or $1.4 million when fully renovated. And the most expensive home to sell in Shepherd Park within the last calendar year was this home right here at around $2 million. Neighborhood number 3 is the Palisades. Now, the Palisades is a very prestigious neighborhood in DC. It actually borders Georgetown. It's in very close proximity to Georgetown. It's located in the northwest quadrant of DC. This one actually has 2 zip codes, so 20007 and 20016. One distinct aspect about the Palisades is its location. It's located right along the Potomac River, and it gives you these breathtaking views and access to the riverfront. Like I mentioned, it's a very affluent neighborhood tucked away in upper northwest. And while it has this peaceful and secluded vibe, it's by no means isolated. It's a stone's throw away from popular Georgetown, and it strikes a balance between its tranquil setting and also accessibility to essential amenities. The location of this neighborhood is as convenient as it can get. Some of the highly rated schools in the community are Key Elementary School, MacArthur High School, which recently just opened up in 2023, and also River School, which is a private school. The Palisades has no shortage of grocery store options. Right on Wisconsin Avenue, you have a Whole Foods Market, a Rodman's, a Trader Joe's, and also a Safeway, all on Wisconsin Avenue. So, lots of options for you to pick from. Palisades also has no shortage of parks and green spaces. You have the Potomac Palisades Parkway, the Palisades Rec Center, and Playground. Let's talk about real estate in Palisades. The average home sale in Palisades within the last calendar year was right around $1.76 million. Again, this is another neighborhood with very low home sales at only 34 homes selling in the entire calendar year, with an average of 11 days on market. So very competitive. When the homes come on the market, within 11 days, they're gone. Also, within the last calendar year, the least expensive home in Palisades sold for $890,000, and the most expensive home right here sold for just over $3.6 million. So you can get anything from as low as $890 all the way up to $3.6 or even more, but that middle ground being around $1.7 million. Moving on to the next home at number 4, we have Brookland, which is a lot more affordable than these 3 neighborhoods I just mentioned. Brookland is located in the northeast quadrant of DC, and the zip code is 20017. Over the past couple of years, Brookland has been like this hot topic neighborhood that's gained a lot of exposure and popularity because it's one of those neighborhoods in DC that gives a suburban vibe, but but also falls within the affordable spectrum of things. Brookland stands out for its vibrant art scene, its strong sense of community, and also a blend of urban amenities with also this cozy neighborhood feel. Brookland just has this rich artistic vibe. It's the home to the Arts Walk at Monroe Street Market. It's just a hub for local artists, galleries, and creative spaces. It fosters a thriving artistic community where residents and visitors can explore art installations, attend workshops, and also engage with different forms of creativity. And one thing I really admire about Brookland, and I think this is also one of the things that defines the neighborhood, is just the character of the homes in the neighborhood. It has different types of architectures, and it's just very unique when you compare it to different neighborhoods. It just has like this small town feel. Brookland also hosts throughout the year many different community events, farmers markets, and festivals like the annual Brookland Day celebration. And Brookland also has a huge dedication to preserving its heritage while also embracing new developments in the neighborhood. And it just creates a distinctive balance that appeals to a diverse range of residents. If I could describe Brookland in 3 words just to paint a picture for you, I would say small town feel. Let's talk about some of the highly rated schools in Brookland. Brookland is home to Catholic University. Catholic University is a highly rated university. It was actually on the Forbes top 500 schools of 2023. I think they fell in at 289. Another highly rated school in Brookland is John Burroughs Elementary School. For your grocery shopping, there's a Yes Organic Food Market along the 12th Street corridor, and there's also a giant food store on Brentwood Road. For green spaces and playgrounds, you have Noyes Park, and you also have Bernard Hill Park. Bernard Hill Park is an amazing park with 22 acres of green space where you can have picnics, time with the kids, with the dogs, any outdoor space you can think of. Bernard Hill Park has got your back. Now let's talk about the real estate. Average home price within the last calendar year in Brookland was $785,000. As we can see, it's the most affordable neighborhood that we've talked about so far in DC as far as being a family-friendly neighborhood. There were 131 home sales within the last year, and the average days on market for a home in Brookland was 19 days. The cheapest home that sold in Brookland within the last calendar year was this home at $334,000. Now, this home was probably a home that was going to be torn down and rebuilt into a new modern home that'll probably sell for between $1.2 to $1.5 million. And the most expensive home that sold in Brookland within the last calendar year was this amazing modern home at just over $1.6 million. And last but not least, the 5th on the list is Cleveland Park. Cleveland Park is located in the northwest quadrant of DC, and the zip code is 20008. I would say Cleveland Park has the best of both worlds. So if you wanted to live in a suburban neighborhood that wasn't really isolated from a lot of amenities and dining and stuff like that, because hey, listen, sometimes the kids might be occupied doing their own thing, maybe a sleepover at their friend's house, and you and your spouse might just want to have a night out in the town, right? So Cleveland Park ticks off those 2 boxes. It's a residential neighborhood, gives you that suburban feel, but it's also located off Connecticut Avenue with a lot of amenities. Dining, you have different restaurants, it's close to a metro station, so if you didn't want to drive, you can easily hop on Red Line and just get to anywhere in the city, get to work. It also has close proximity to Rock Creek Park, so there's a lot of greenery around in Cleveland Park. It's also the home to the National Zoo, which is one of the oldest zoos in the entire United States. But we're going to talk about that in a second when we talk about the amenities. But just sticking to the overall vibe of Cleveland Park. It has a lot of historic homes, has these beautiful tree-lined streets, and it's also a competitive neighborhood to get into if you were looking to buy a home in this neighborhood. If you lived in Cleveland Park, one thing I can assure you is that you're going to enjoy the convenience of nearby shops and restaurants and amenities and boutiques while still feeling connected to your community. Again, Cleveland Park is one of those neighborhoods that has a lot of highly rated schools. So some of the highly rated schools in Cleveland Park are Eaton Elementary, Edmund Burke, which is a private college prep school, and also Jackson Reed High School. Grocery shopping, you have a Giant Food and a Yes Organic Market, all located on Connecticut Avenue. And the good thing about Cleveland Park is not only do they have like the big retail grocery stores, but you also have a lot of local stores and businesses and shops that you can also get groceries from. So if you're someone who is huge on supporting local businesses and buying local produce, hey, Cleveland Park has those options for you. Cleveland Park also has close proximity to Rock Creek Park, which is DC's biggest park. And like I mentioned earlier, they're the home of the National Zoo, which is one of the oldest zoos in the United States. I mean, they have all types of animals on display. And the good thing about it is it's free. So you don't have to pay a dime to visit the zoo. You can head out there with the kids, just have an awesome time. One thing you would have to keep in mind about the zoo is the tourist attraction. So when a lot of tourists come in town, it usually gets packed. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about real estate in Cleveland Park. Within the last calendar year, the average home sale in Cleveland Park was right around $2 million. There were 54 total home sales. And out of all the neighborhoods we've talked about, Cleveland Park has the lowest days on market when it comes to home sales. So they come in right around 6 days on market. So when a home gets listed in Cleveland Park, within 6 days, it gets snatched up because of all these beautiful amenities and the neighborhood feel and just the convenience of accessibility. Within the last calendar year, the cheapest home that sold in Cleveland Park was this home at $725,000. The most expensive home that sold in Cleveland Park within the last year was this home at $4.75 million. So you have a good range there, as low as 725 to as high as almost $5 million, but that middle range seems to be around $2 million. So whoever told you there are no family-friendly neighborhoods in DC, straight up lied to you. If you can see yourself living in any one of these 5 neighborhoods, feel free to shoot us a call, text, or email if you wanted to talk more about the local market. We'll be glad to help you make that smooth transition. In another video, I'm gonna go over 5 other neighborhoods because listen, there are more. These aren't the only 5, there are actually more. In another video, I'll go over another set of 5 neighborhoods with different characteristics and attributes. Until then, I'll see you in the next neighborhood.